Hey guys, it's Ryder. This video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be starting with some commentary on the PvP meta from what I've noticed. It's going to be a review of Pelican's build, and then discussing how you should approach going through the PvP changes with subclassing. So to begin, we're seeing a lot of Nightblade Assassination as predicted on PTS and as seen in Reddit posts. Most people in Stormhaven are running Assassination for the end cap and double bow proc skills. Which when paired with Animal Companions is giving devastating damage that's really hard to resist, even when running Rallying Cry and crit resist CP. We haven't seen people creep up into their high HP pools yet, as some people have predicted, though I'm guessing in a few weeks people might start running around 40,000 HP just to survive these bursts. Players such as Meep have come up with dot builds modified from Update 45, then brought to life in Update 46 with subclassing, by using Malakath's Band, Pyre Brand, and Vadishran's Staff. We see other players using Reliquin, which is of course still effective. So although Burst meta is still alive and well, and in fact flourishing right now with the Monomyth that just got released, dot builds are still relevant, even though a lot of people, including myself, expected Restoring Light to cancel out a lot of these dot builds entirely. And to be honest, I'm pretty glad to see the metas being a little bit more diverse than I expected. To be honest with you, I was doom and gloom. I was thinking this is going to be an all one-shot meta, of which it still is 90% one-shot metas, at least in Stormhaven and in Battlegrounds. But it's cool to see that people are coming up with different ideas. So that is to say, even if you think there is a meta in PvP, which is still being developed right now, go with your own route, go with your own intuition, and see what you come up with, because it might surprise you. For the second part of the video, I want to give a review to Pelican's Sork Warden Templar combo that he just posted today on YouTube. And the reason why I even attempted it is because, one, well, Pelican's a very reliable resource when it comes to good builds. But two, as you guys know on this channel, I only try to do Templars. I want to try to push the class as much as I can, whether that means pure classing or seeing what skill lines synergize well with it. So gear-wise, I'm going to leave a lot of the intricacies up to Pelican and his channel, as he's the one who came up with this. But effectively, he's using two-piece Blood Spawn, Mechanical QD front bar, and a Rallying Cry Sword and Shield back bar. So in his video, he uses mostly Impen, but I went with double reinforced here. I'm keeping the charge trait on this because of the jabs changes. That makes a lot of sense to me as well. I'm glad he explained it that way to his audience, myself included. But I'm also going decisive back bar here instead of Nirnhoned. So he's basically justifying Nirnhoned as your heals will carry on your front bar, which makes a lot of sense. But given that we're actually swapping to Restoring Light, and that heal is based on your max health and not weapon spell damage, I'm actually okay to use decisive back here. It gets us ult a little bit quicker, and this kind of counters some of the Monomyth minor timidity that some people are worried about. So I gave it a few hours practice and running it through BGs and whatnot, and I liked a lot of it, though I'd make some personal changes myself for my own play style. So firstly, in his video, he's using triple protective. I might actually want to swap this all to Swift, and that's because without a gap closer, I'm really not personally comfortable giving ranged characters a lot of range on me, where they're getting free damage and I'm not. It also helps me secure a lot of kills, and that's why in my previous videos, I've always opted to use the gap close. He even mentions you can use something like Toppling Charge, but because this is a stamina-based character and I've only ever run Magplar, I'm not super comfortable using Mag as a resource that way. Another option would be Silver Leash from the Fighter's Guild skill line, but even with the Fighter's Guild passives on there, the actual damage with this ability didn't stand out to me, and I kind of found it to be a very awkward and gimmicky ability rather than a combination tool. So for the last part of the video, I just want to give some tips in terms of where you should probably take your build going into subclassing. I'm going to go into a lot more detail in my next video about how to build the fundamentals, but ultimately, within the past few patches, you could either go a dot build or a burst build, and you can do like a little bit of both in your setup. But now, because it's such a high DPS meta, I advise that you stick to one extreme or the other. So like I mentioned earlier, Meep has some really good dot builds out there, but for the most part, it's easier to build into a burst build using the Null Arca buffs or the many crit damage skill lines that are available to you. If you are going with burst build, I recommend getting the Monomyth, though the Saint Seducer and Caesar Print Coil are fine. Major Force is really ridiculously strong, and you're really not giving anything up for it. Definitely take a look at the patch notes to see what was buffed. It seems to be a lot of what is on the patch notes is directly used by a majority of the players, again, mostly at Stormhaven. And that's about it for the video. I just have a few clips from the Pelican build, some of them with my own modifications. And if you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. And I will see you guys soon with the fundamentals video. Have a good day.